Well, hello, friends. Pastor Eric here. It is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and just want to send a quick message. I know I took last week off and didn't send a video out, so wanted to do so here again today. Figured I'd do it today, excuse me, from out in our living room so we can see our tree and apparently my cat in the background, but just to make it feel a bit more festive. This Sunday I'm preaching, and I'm going to be preaching on Isaiah 11, 1 through 6, and just Pastor Dave kicked it off last week with the Micah passage, and just, again, looking at some of these great Old Testament prophecies speaking about the coming Messiah, and obviously we celebrate that in this Advent season, and at Christmas, the coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, and so I'm going to be talking about that more on Sunday. I'm going to be talking about this as well, because I know not everyone watches these videos, but I just wanted to share just a thought I had, some perspective that I think this pandemic has provided this year. Typically, Advent, for me anyway, it's about preparing for Christmas, and the Advent season is very festive and very fun and kind of filled with wonder and kind of a magical season, especially with kiddos. Excuse me, that's what Advent kind of is for us, and it's kind of just the counting down to Christmas. We even do that with Advent calendars and things like that. And while that's good and fun, and I think especially in a year like this, it just feels extra good, I think, to have that comforting feeling, just the lights and the tree and just everything that the music, it's all just so good for our souls, and I think we need it. It's every year, but I think especially this year. But also recognizing this is a really tough year for a lot of people, especially if there's, excuse me, an empty spot at your table this year. It's especially profound at the Thanksgiving, at Christmas, times like this. So definitely want to be aware of folks for whom this is a difficult season every year, maybe particularly this year, especially for obviously families who have lost loved ones to COVID throughout our country. This is going to be a tough Christmas for sure. But what I wanted to share a bit of perspective is, again, for me, Advent is always this season of preparation to Christmas. And so it's this really joyful season and fun season and all that. But as we think about Advent, meaning arrival or coming, we think about Jesus when he first came, and we think about, I think it's important to think about what this season of waiting, Advent season, would have been like for those Jewish people at the time that Jesus was born. Again, their season was not some short 24 days. Their season of waiting had been for years, for generations, while they were waiting for deliverance. They were waiting for the promised Messiah. And so it was a really difficult season, just looking for any sign of hope. And while I love the joyfulness of this season, I actually think this year is providing us with some good perspective. I think this pandemic is providing us with some good perspective, that we're all waiting not for just in joyous anticipation of something, which we are for Christmas, but we're also just weary and waiting for this pandemic to be done. We're waiting for this news of a vaccine, for it to actually be available and tested, and so we can be comfortable about it and all these things. And there's just this weariness, especially as cases continue to surge nationwide, and even here in our community, there's an uptick. And so that just adds this other layer of weariness, as maybe we thought, okay, we're making it through. But again, you look at like the 1918 pandemic, and that's what happened. There was kind of a relaxing, and then the third wave hit, and it was the most deadly, either the second or third, but still that happens with these types of things. So it's not that it wasn't expected, but it doesn't change the fact that it just adds to the weariness on us. And while that's frustrating and discouraging and disheartening, like I say, I think maybe this year it just gives us a better perspective of what it would have been like for those people, the Jewish people, waiting for the Messiah to come, and for those shepherds to hear that good news that the Savior had been born to them in the city of David, who is Christ the Lord, Christ the Messiah, the Anointed One, how good that news would have sounded. So I just lift that up this year. I think it's a tough year, and it's easy to just get bogged down and focus on that. But maybe see this as an opportunity. I think we have to keep finding opportunities, finding positives amidst all this, and say, okay, an opportunity here is to gain some perspective, to kind of reevaluate how we think of Advent, the Advent season. And again, see it as joyful, see it as fun. It should be all those things. We need it to be that this year. But also take a pause, take a step back, and reflect on the fact that we're in a tough season. And yet our season is nothing compared to what those people endured and how long they endured waiting for the Messiah. And so when he arrived, just the absolute joy they would have felt. Granted, Jesus proved to be a different type of Messiah than they had been expecting or wanting, even though he's the Messiah we all needed. We all benefit, not just the Jewish people, from Jesus and what God had planned in and through him. But, sorry, my kids are banging around. But again, just imagine that joy and hope and peace. So again, I think that's good for us to reflect on, and just to, like I say, maybe gain some fresh perspective this year. Perhaps this will actually make this Advent season more meaningful for us. Perhaps it will be a bit more profound than it has been in years past, where every year kind of feels the same. This year definitely does not feel the same. And maybe that's not without purpose. So God bless you, friends. Look forward to preaching this Sunday. More about all of this. And again, I just wanted to offer this up early on in this Advent season as maybe a way to kind of reframe it in a positive light. So God bless you. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday or connecting with you through the live stream. And again, I just hope and pray you have a great weekend. God bless you.